Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 1821 Sports Podcast. We are filming on Thursday afternoon, and Missouri has one of its biggest games of the year. I would argue maybe the biggest game of the year coming up with Alabama this Saturday. Missouri coming off of a bye week, Alabama coming off a statement win against Vanderbilt, in which there was a lot of trash talking from Diego Pavia, and he did not back it up one bit, which was quite funny, if you ask me. Just a huge game. I mean, the magnitude of this game, you can't underestimate it at all. Mizzou hasn't had a top 15 matchup in the AP poll since 1979 at Furrow Field. So this is a big, big deal for Mizzou. Obviously, Alabama looks like the best team in the conference right now. Looks like one of the best teams in the country. They lost to Florida State in week one and then said, you know what? No, we're not this bad. We're actually really, really good. So we're going to start trying. And they have. And Ty Simpson's been terrific. Ryan Williams has been good. Jeremy Bernard has been awesome. Shout out Jeremy Bernard. I really like him as a player. But man, like big game, a lot of feelings. Campus is buzzing. I mean, this is a big opportunity for Missouri to prove themselves as, hey, we're wanting to take the next step into the upper echelon of the SEC because right now Mizzou's knocking on that door, but it hasn't busted in yet. So, Fernando, give me your thoughts on this game on Saturday. Just like, have you felt the excitement with people you've talked to? Like, kind of, how can you compare this game to other games you've seen that Mizzou has played just maybe throughout the last couple of years?
I think the national, perception of the game is Missouri has not played any ranked team, which is factually true, and that all the numbers that Missouri has is because they have played quote unquote nobody. So the perception is that when they play Alabama, they're going to lose. And overall, my 2 cents in the game is I was talking to a friend of mine, and I think the path for Missouri to win this game is unfortunately our weakness, which is our secondary. Missouri's going to play the best pocket passer in college football this Saturday morning, and what's going to allow Missouri or give Missouri a chance to win the game is to be able to improve all the issues that they had in the South Carolina game and some of it on the UMass game as well. I don't think it was a quote unquote fix. I think there were still issues in the UMass game. So I think what's gonna it's gonna give Missouri the chance to enter into the conversation of winning the game is the secondary gonna be good enough to play defense against Ty Simpson? Simpson is everything that Missouri struggles with, which is the truth. And I think, as you are well aware, the D line is phenomenal. The linebacker crew is very, very good, but the secondary is the weakness. So the way I see this game, the path for Missouri to win this game is for the D line to do the work they've been doing, which is pressuring Ty Simpson, and also the secondary being able to play well on the coverages and not blow any type of coverages. And then on the offense, Matt Hardy giving Missouri the opportunity to dominate the possession of the ball and take the ball away from Ty Simpson. The Alabama offense does not have the ball, and Missouri keeps the ball. That's the path for victory. So, my
Yeah. Yeah, I like that a lot. With the whole Missouri hasn't played anybody thing, I mean, you kind of have to agree to a sense. Like, Missouri has the 109th rated schedule according to ESPN. Kansas and South Carolina, like, Kansas is a decent football team, but they got beat by Cincinnati at home, and they haven't looked very consistent at all. They've either looked like a really, really good football team or a not so great football team. So with Missouri beating Kansas at home, that was a signature win against your rival. But it's like, all right, like that was cool. And then they played South Carolina and they beat South Carolina, but they haven't looked great either. So for Missouri, you come into this game and the national perception is, like you said, hey, Alabama might win by 2 scores. Like Missouri hasn't played anybody. We don't know how good Missouri is. And to that, I would say, you know what? That's fair, especially if you're not watching Missouri play. Now, I will say this, if you've watched Missouri play, they've passed the eye test on virtually every level. The passing game has looked probably better than advertised. I wouldn't say perfect, but uh, pretty good at times. The running game has been basically perfect. I mean, Ahmad Hardy is the leading rusher in college football, and he didn't even play last week. So he's got 730 yards on the year. And then Jamal Roberts has been fantastic as running back too, as well. So going into this game, I like what you said about keeping Ty Simpson off the field. Like, if you're Missouri, you have to have 10 play drives that last 5 or more minutes, right? You have to take time off the clock. You have to put yourself in third and short. You don't want to go third and long. Okay. Like,
Right.
you need to be picking up 3 or 4 yards on first down, running Ahmad Hardy or Jamal Roberts. Like, that's the way you win this game. You do not win the game by going 3 and out and then letting Ty Simpson back on the field. Like, your offense has to be efficient and methodical. Like, you can't. I almost would say for Missouri, it'd be bad if they have explosive plays, like long touchdown passes to Marquise Johnson. Now, obviously, those result in touchdowns, which is great for Missouri, but I would rather see Missouri win this game by going down the field slowly and keeping
Right.
that Alabama offense off the field. Because, like you said, Ty Simpson is the best pocket passer in all college football. I'd heavily agree with that. And he's right now a Heisman favorite on some short lists. So for Missouri, the key is I don't think it's just the secondary. I don't think you can rely on the Missouri secondary to cover the Alabama receivers. What you do have to rely on is, hey, we're going to send 5 or 6 at you, Ty Simpson. Make a decision quick, right? I don't think you can send 4 at Ty Simpson and say, all right, well, we hope the 4 gets to Ty Simpson. That might work sometimes because Zion Young and Damon Wilson are terrific players, but you have to make Ty Simpson uncomfortable because he will shred your defense. Absolutely shred your defense. I'm sorry, but Ryan Williams on Dre Norwood is a mismatch, right? Jeremy Bernard on Toriana Pride or Stephen Hall, mismatch, right? You've got to force Ty Simpson to get rid of the ball quick. And I think then Missouri could win, but there's no telling to see how the pass rush does against Alabama. This is probably the best offensive line they've played all year so far as well. So we're going to find out.
Well, and to your point, I think one of the things that Drink said at the beginning of the season, one of the press conferences, he said, "We want to be able to create pressure without any exotic blitz." So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, so the D line is exactly where he wants the D line to be. So is he gonna feel obligated to send extra guys in on the blitz, or is he gonna, like you're saying, sending 4 to 5 people? Because because I think you're right. You want to make Simpson uncomfortable, and that's the D line's work. So if you make him uncomfortable, you make him rush on a decision he doesn't want to do, then boom, Missouri has Ty Simpson exactly where he needs to be. The question is going to be, are they going to sacrifice coverage for blitz? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in Tuesday's press conference, Eli Drinkwitz said you kind of had to pick your poison. Either you load the box and you defend against the run and you try to get pressure after him, but that opens up the field a little bit, or you drop everybody back in coverage and Jam Miller, who is an excellent running back, by the way. Jam Miller is extremely good, and he's back for Bama, and that's huge. Or you let Jam Miller run on you, right? So for Missouri, can the run defense keep up the performance, right? Missouri has the #1 run defense in all of college football. Put that on the list of things that I did not expect heading into this season, right? So Missouri's defense, apart from giving up explosive plays, has been really good. But again, there's an asterisk next to that, right? They haven't played anybody like Alabama. So this week, and that's why I made the TikTok about, hey, this is a litmus test. Like, this is gonna tell you a lot about Missouri and how good they could be this year.
Yeah.
Because obviously, right now, Missouri looks like a college football playoff team because they're 5-0 and they're number 14 in the country. They look great. That could change on Saturday in 2 ways. You could come out of that game and say, they're still really good, but they're just not to that level yet. Or, hey, they just beat Alabama. The college football playoff is now the expectation for this team.
Mm,
So we'll see how it plays out. I mean, I keep flipping back and forth on who I think is going to win this game. Like, I think every day of this week, I've changed my mind. I think it's more likely that Alabama wins this game. I just think the Missouri secondary against these Alabama receivers, I think it's just such a mismatch. And not saying that the corners are not talented, not saying that Missouri safeties are not talented, but I'm saying when you see a trend of explosive play after explosive play after explosive play, there's only so much time that can go by before you start to say, "Hey, we don't know if this is fixable." Right? We don't know. Right? This could just be an issue with this team because every team has flaws. So we're going to find out on Saturday whether or not Missouri can improve their zone coverage. Are they going to play a lot of man on these Alabama receivers? I don't know. They like to play a lot of man, but I don't know if you do it against Ryan Limbs and Jeremy Bernard and Cole Adams, right? So I guess we're
And
going to find out.
the other thing too that Alabama does really well on offense is a pre-snap motion. I was able to watch that Vanderbilt game that Alabama played Vanderbilt last weekend, and I've noticed that they started integrating a lot of pre-snap motion. And to me, it seems like DeBoer is shaping this Alabama team to be basically the team he had before, which is great passing quarterback with a great pre-snap motion where they have the what people call eye candy, And I think if you look back at the KU game, the reason why that game started 21-6 was because Missouri was not used to a pre-snap motion and they were very hesitant. So I'm thinking on the Boer's brain right now is he's going to use some of that to keep in bay the D line because that was the reason why the D line was not pressuring because they thought they were going to drop in shorter pass, whatever the case is. So I'm calling it. He's going to do a lot of eye candy stuff because he even got pretty fancy with Georgia where he did a couple of stuff. So,
Yeah, I mean,
anyways,
Caden Proctor caught a screen pass. Caden Proctor ran the ball against
right.
Vanderbilt. I was like, what? I mean, that's genius. Give it to the 6'8", 340-pound guy and let him run. That's genius. And I guarantee you, I'm calling it now. They're going to do something with Caden Proctor versus Missouri. Guarantee it. It's going to
Hmm.
continue, and it's going to be something new. We might see a jet sweep to Caden Proctor. That'd be hilarious. Obviously, that probably won't happen, but I mean, you never know. They could get really creative and try something crazy. But yeah, I mean, nonetheless, like huge game.
Right.
You just can't state the importance of it enough. I mean, I've been on YouTube all week, and every clip, every video on my feed is Alabama versus Missouri preview, right? You don't get that level
Right.
when you play Central Arkansas. But when you play Alabama, everybody's talking about it. Everybody. And I
I have a,
haven't, you're good. You're good.
All right, I have a question for you, Jackson. We got two paths we can follow from here. I know we've talked about it on our podcast before. This Alabama game is the quote unquote loss that we can afford for the regular season. So here's my question to you: do you either want to lose the game, close game, but we still the game Missouri still loses, and then they're in a position where they have to win out, they have no other choice, or B, but Missouri beats Alabama and then they have the flexibility to maybe lose the Oklahoma game, maybe the Vandy, whatever the case is. So, which one do you like the best? Which path? I mean,
Yeah, I think it's easily you beat Alabama, but that's because, you have a signature win against a top 10 team, right? Against a team that is nationally loved. Alabama
right,
will always be nationally loved. So, you win this game, you're probably going to be sitting around 8, 9 in the AP poll. College football playoff poll will drop soon, right? We're about to hit that point of the season. If you're sitting around 8 or 9, you can afford a loss to a pretty good team, right? Let's say you go on the road and you lose to, let's call it, Vanderbilt. Maybe Vanderbilt that week is like 15 and you lose on a game losing field goal, right? That would suck for Missouri, but you could maybe afford that loss, right? Because here's the thing, like 12 teams get in. Missouri can afford a loss. You could argue two because there's been two teams. SMU, I believe last year had two losses, made it into the college football playoff. I think there might have been someone else before that, but 10-2 absolutely gets you in the SEC, right? This league is a gauntlet. Anybody that has two losses can get in. So I think if you're Mizzou, you want to win this game, obviously, but I don't think it's just because of college football playoff implications. I think it's to prove we're one of the big boys now. Now, winning this game, does it cement yourself as one of the big boys? No, right? You have to prove time and time again that you can do it, not just a one time occurrence. But if you're Missouri, if you beat Alabama, that shows, hey, we're here, right? A lot of people don't think Missouri's there yet, and they're kind of right? Eli Drinkwitz has to beat a Georgia or an Alabama to show to the country, hey, we're here and we're ready to win. We're ready to contend for the college football playoff. We're ready to host a playoff game. We're ready to maybe get into the top four. And you can start talking about those things. So this game's huge for that. I mean, do you have a same opinion there? What do you think?
Yeah, I think definitely the path I would choose is the Alabama victory. And I think, because on the other side of it, your margin of error becomes none if you want to qualify to the playoffs. So I think that the victory over Alabama will weight more than like a victory against Oklahoma or Auburn or Vandy or whatever the case is. So so yeah. And honestly, one of the things I was thinking about entering this season, I had two questions in mind. The first one was, can Missouri beat bigger teams? Because last year Missouri started great, and then I forgot which game it was. They had their first big rival, and then did not perform well.
Yeah,
So
you might be talking about the A&M game. They went into
yes,
College Station and got obliterated.
correct. And then they were before that, they were doing great, and everybody's like, "We're going to the playoffs," the whole nine, and then that happened. So then this year, we Missouri played South Carolina. That sort of answered the question. Okay, we can play ball with a, a good team. Now this will be question 1B, which will be, can Missouri beat a top 10 team? And now question two for me would be, how does Missouri perform away? Because last year Missouri did great at home, but then they played away and it was a complete disaster. So after this Alabama game, I want to be able to see how they perform against Auburn. Auburn's not a ranked team, I get it, but still the environment in Auburn it's a really hard place to win. So after the Auburn game, I think I might have a full picture of like where Missouri truly is
Yeah.
for this season.
Yeah. I mean, every SEC opponent apart from Kentucky and maybe Arkansas is a competitive game. Feels like you're playing a ranked opponent. If Auburn was in any other conference, I guarantee you they'd be a top 15 team in the country. Any other conference. But the SEC's insane, right? Auburn has to go on the road to Oklahoma, loses by one score, has to go on the road to Texas A&M. I can't remember the score of that game, but it was a largely competitive game for the most of it. Auburn's offense is just dead. It doesn't exist. So, I mean, we'll have to see what they look like on the road because I agree. Like Missouri needs to win games on the road this year to prove, hey, we're one of those teams. We're one of those teams that you can talk about for college football playoff implications. So we'll kind of see. Let's throw out some score predictions. I'm going to keep with my score prediction that I wrote in our preview. I don't feel great about it, honestly. I could see this game going either way. I think it's a coin flip, like literally. But I picked Mizzou to win 31-27. I'm going to stand on that hill, and if I'm wrong, I will eat the licks I get from Bama TikTok because Alabama fans have found my TikTok and rated it. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Hey, man, hey, we're making it. Now, my prediction would be 33-30 Missouri. My prediction is 250 yards, passing yards from Ty Simpson, one touchdown, one pick, and then Hardy runs 110.
I like that. I could maybe see that, but I think if Bama scores 30, Ty Simpson's throwing for over 300 and probably another touchdown. Because then you're saying, hey, Jam Miller's going to get like three. So I don't know. We'll see. Now this is my time to pick your brain, Fernando, because moving on from Missouri,
I don't want
there's
to. Don't do
another
it.
there's another team. I can't remember their name. They rhyme with like the Weefs. The gosh, I don't know. It's like the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Kansas City Chiefs lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars on what was it, Monday night or Sunday night,
Monday Night
something like
Football.
that.
That's right.
Yep, Monday night. So I didn't get to watch much of the game, but I remember the Chiefs were up by two scores, and I was like, you know what? They're gonna win this game. It's gonna be fine, right? Chiefs are back, right? Winning a big road game against a pretty good Jacksonville. Like, first of all, give kudos to Jacksonville. Liam Cohen, first year coach for the Jaguars, looks terrific, right? Their roster
Duval.
isn't even super duper talented. I'm not saying they don't have talent, but I'm saying like the Jaguars are not in the upper echelon of teams when you think about talent. But man, they look good. So tell me a little bit about what you saw of the Chiefs because, like I said, I didn't get to watch much. So tell me what you saw. Why did the Chiefs lose that ball game?
Things on the Jags. Hey, congrats. They won the game. They play better. They deserve a victory. One of the things I noticed, I think it was 2 games ago from Jacksonville, where Trevor Lawrence was arguing with Liam Cohen on the one of the plays. And I don't know about you, but when I see the quarterback and the head coach bickering a little bit, I know that they're both equally invested in winning. So when I saw that, I'm like, okay, I think Trevor Lawrence is gonna be better eventually. And I thought that was I don't know, this may be weird, but that was my sign of like, okay, I think they're gonna be good because they're completely invested in winning the game. There's no there wasn't like this sense of like mediocrity where like we're just gonna 9-7, 10-7 it and just be in the wild card week on the Saturday 3 o'clock game that no one's gonna watch against the Texans. No, they want to win games and they want to be the best. Kudos to them. On the Chiefs side, yeah, I definitely think that Kansas City took for granted Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville is a lot better than what Kansas City thought they would be. The defense, the biggest concern I have now is Chris Jones. There's a lack of effort at the defensive line from Chris Jones. The play that Trevor Lawrence scored a touchdown in, he was literally on the floor. His knees were
Walking.
in the ground, Jackson. And Chris Jones did not just stop trying to get out of and to try to get him because he thought he hit the floor. And if you see, there was in the one of the press conference Andy Reid had a day or two ago, he mentioned something about that, how he talked to Chris and he was like, "Hey man, like you just gotta make sure that the play is over. Like the play is over when the ref calls it, you know. So, and clearly the play wasn't over, and kudos to Lawrence, and he scored a touchdown to win the game. 'Cause if that was one of those where, excuse me, where that was one of those where the play was over, then the game would have ended, but it didn't clearly, and the Jags won. And then there's a end zone pick that Patrick Mahomes had where he talked about that later, and he's like, "Man, they got me because they had like a fake. They thought I think it was Jacksonville was gonna blitz, fake like they were gonna blitz, and they dropped in coverage. And when they drop on the cover three, I think it was. That's when they got the pick, and it was a pick six. Like it was a 99-yard pick six. So kudos to them. And I think Kansas City did not finish the game because they could have won the game. Really did. And then the special teams was a complete mess on the last time the Kansas City had the ball. Well, actually, Kansas City scores. They take the lead, and then Harrison Butker kicks, for the kickoff, and then he has a penalty, and then Jacksonville has the ball on the 40-yard line. So there's that. And then when Jacksonville takes the lead, not Remigio, it was the other guy, returns the ball and he was about the 40-yard line and then somebody in the special teams had a holding call. So the penalties destroyed Kansas City. I don't think the season's over. I think I can see a 10-7. Again, I'm going to predict it again, Jackson. It's going to be Buffalo Bills going to be the 2 seed. City's going to be the 7 seed. And Kansas City's going to go to Buffalo and win that game.
So let me ask you this: do you still see 10-7 if they lose next week to the Lions? Because at that
Not
point they're
emo-
2-5. They're two
I'm
and
not
five.
emotionally ready. I'm not
Yeah.
for that.
I'm just saying from a neutral standpoint, the Lions are a much, much better football team and they will win
Yes.
that game. That's my prediction. I don't know. Like, here's the thing about the Chiefs that it's crazy to me. Okay, Chris Jones is how old? 36?
He's like high 20s, I think.
No. Really?
Yeah, he's not that old.
Give me a fact check on that because I could have swore Chris Jones is like super duper old.
He's 31, Jackson. Come
Okay,
on,
so
dude.
he's in his prime. But here's the thing. We cannot be relying on an interior D lineman to be your best D lineman. Simple. It's the way football
Yeah,
is nowadays. So that's my word for the Chiefs is like Chris Jones clearly lack of effort. I know that he can make the excuse of I thought the play was over. You
right.
watched Trevor Lawrence run into the end zone. He was 5 yards out and Chris Jones had his hands on his hips, just watching, admiring Trevor Lawrence. So I don't get it. I don't get it. And then for the Chiefs offense, they look way better, by the way. Look way better.
Yeah.
Let's give the Chiefs offense its flowers. Forgot his name,
Yeah,
but yeah.
Pacheco looks better. I don't think he's completely back, but it seems like he needs a couple more games and he should be back, I think.
I forgot his name, but starts with a B, ends with Smith, running back. Do you know the first name?
Uh, they're trying to use him the same way I think it's Brashard Smith, I believe.
Richard Smith. Yep. He needs to start. He needs to start. He's really good. Every time I see him run, I'm like, why is he not starting?
Brashard. I think it's
Yep.
Brashard. Yeah, it's Brashard.
Yeah. That guy needs to start. He does.
Well, so he's a good passing back. He's like a Darren Sproles kind of skill set. I think the problem with him, the limitation that the Chiefs have with him, he's not a guy that you're gonna put on the eye with
Oh,
three
yeah.
tight ends. So that's the part where like you can put Kareem Hunt in, and it seems like Andy Reid is using Pacheco on the short pass plays where like, you're dumping it on the running back. I don't know. I could tell that there's an issue in the locker room. I don't know how big of a problem it is, but when we're having a conversation that there's lack of effort on a play from the AFC champions, then that's an issue to me. It seems like they need a locker room guy in there to kind of clean that up, but I don't know who that would be because I looked at the wide receivers that we have and they're great and I love them, but then you look at their TikToks and man, they're like having fun and they're like basically children, and again, they're great players, but what are they doing to help the locker room,
Yep.
Like, how are we helping Chris Jones give all the effort that he needs?
Yeah. Yeah. I see this a lot from the Kansas City fan base, and this is my worry. I fear that the team has taken this upon themselves. I wonder just a little bit, slightly, do the Kansas City Chiefs still say to themselves, we're still the Chiefs? Because here's the thing, like, I think that can be their downfall. I think it could. Because if they don't start taking these losses seriously and being like, something is wrong, like, we are the Chiefs, we're supposed to win these games. Like, why are we not winning these games? And they're not taking them to heart and trying to learn from these losses. I fear for the Chiefs. Not saying they're not going to make the playoffs. I'm not saying they couldn't win a playoff game or two, but I'm saying it almost seems to me on the outside looking in that they're just like, oh, well, we lost. We're still the Chiefs. We're going to go to the AFC Championship. I don't know if you think that's a fair assessment, but that's just what I've seen from the outside looking in at the fan base, and I wonder if it kind of dwindles into the locker room a little bit.
Well, the other part to consider too, Jackson, is after the Lions game, so Rasheed Rice will be back, and I don't know if some of it has to do where there's a mindset like we just need to make it back to when Rasheed's playing, and obviously that's not the right mindset, but part of me wonders, because Xavier Worthy is clearly playing hurt. I would say if you were to put a percentage of 100% him being healthy, he's probably at a 70, will be my guess. And Hollywood Brown, to me, was not the signing that that the Chiefs expected to get on the in regards to talent. And I think we have a couple good guys like Juju and Thornton are pretty good players in my mind, where they give you good catches, like good third down catches. They're not going to be the 100-yard receiving per game players, but I do think that they're going to give you good catches. And I think when Rasheed gets back, the vertical threat would make defenses play better.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that's big. I mean, once Rasheed Rice gets back, I think the offense changes a little bit. Maybe not like scheme wise, but like Rasheed Rice is going to add another layer there.
People will play Kansas City different. I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
And then
I,
the other part, and this is like fan braining here between you and me. Everybody else cover your ears. If you look at Twitter, there's word in the street that they could sign Alvin Kamara or your dear Brees Hall.
they probably will.
So I saw
Probably
on
will.
Twitter that the Jets were shopping Brees Hall, which I mean, as a Chiefs fan, I'm happy about that. But also, uh, it makes absolutely no sense from the Jets side because you guys just lost your starting running back, and
Yeah.
you have Brace Hall. So I don't know if the Jets are like, hey, we're gonna be terrible this year, so we're gonna start selling so we can get some assets to use for next season. I don't know. You can
I
answer that
don't know,
question better than
man.
me. And then
I don't know.
if you were to ask me between Hall and Kamara, I would prefer Brees Hall. But realistically, I think if it's Kamara, it's probably going to be the quote unquote cheaper option. Because Veach doesn't want to let go of too much stock, as we've talked before. So I think
Yeah.
Kamara will be the cheaper out. And I can see Kamara being kind of like how DeAndre Hopkins was, where he's just kind of, he's going to be a merchant running back where he's going to do his job and then move on.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
And I don't think they're going to want to commit too much time to Brees Hall because Brees Hall, with his age, he's probably going to want a contract as soon as the season ends. And I doubt Kansas City's going to want to have a long term commitment with them.
yeah. I mean, Brees Hall's 23. Like,
Right.
young dude. Last year of his contract, he said in a press conference, I've been in the league for 4 years and I don't have much longer to prove what I can be. Right. So he kind of wants out, and I don't blame him. Like, the Jets are a dumpster fire. So I don't blame anybody for wanting to leave that organization. Being a fan of that organization makes me want to leave. So, I mean, who knows? But the Chiefs are probably going to be fine. But if they lose next week in convincing fashion, the narrative probably is going to change a little bit. We will see. But
You said it was going to be 2-5, but I don't think you did math right. You mean if they
two
lose,
and
they're going to be
four.
2-4.
Are they
Yeah.
2-3 now?
Yes.
Okay, so 2-4. Yeah, but we'll see. I mean, they are 2-3, like not a winning percentage at all that they want to have. So they'll be fine. But I can't imagine if you're 2-4 that inspires much confidence. But again, Rasheed Rice comes back. Maybe that changes things for you. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Maybe
moving on.
maybe they but yeah, fair. Oh, yeah, moving on. I meant to ask you, Jackson. I know lately if you looked at our Twitter account or our TikTok account or our website, you've noticed a young man called Jackson covering some high school football, specifically for Hickman. How's the experience been going to games, talking to players, coaches? Talk to me about that.
It's been really cool. I haven't talked to a lot of coaches yet. I can tell the players know who I am at this point. They know what the organization is, what our website is, things like that. I haven't talked to them as much. I try not to talk to players a ton unless it's for interview sake. But overall, the experience has been a lot of fun. Live tweeting the games is a lot of fun. Filming every play. You never know what's going to happen. And really, I mean, what's made it a lot of fun is the fact that Hickman's good. They haven't been good in 13 years. So all of a sudden, covering the team and they're good, is it a coincidence? I think not. But I they are good. And they've got a game against Camden this week where they're probably going to win by 40 or 50 points. But then they've got Rockbridge that next week, and that's going to be a heck of a ball game. And very similar to Missouri, Alabama, just on a high school level, it's going to show where Hickman really is at as a like as a football program. So we're going to see where Hickman's at in week 8 and just how good they really are. So it's been fun.
So who would you say is quote unquote king of high school football in the city of Columbia,
Uh,
the public system?
So here's the thing. It's a hard question to answer because record wise, and the eye test would say Hickman, right? Record wise, and the eye test would say Hickman. But until they beat Rockbridge, who has been the king of Columbia high school football for a couple of years, I don't want to declare Hickman the king yet. I don't. I don't think that's wise. Because here's the thing, right? Hickman beat Cap City, Rockbridge lost to Cap City, right? Rockbridge lost to Helias in a little bit of a better fashion. Hickman got smoked by Helias. Now, I don't think the score necessarily indicated how close the game was, but Helias did win by 35 points. So, I mean, pretty convincing fashion. You could literally say either or, right? You could say, you know what, Hickman is the king, right? They're pretty good this year. They're 5-1, probably going to finish 8-1 potentially if they beat Rockbridge. I haven't looked at how good Chaminade is, who their last game is in St. Louis, but that'll be a fun game to cover. So I don't know. I'm gonna say Rockbridge, which is gonna make some Hickman kids mad. But if you beat Rockbridge, like, you're the king. Like, there's
Mm.
no disputing that whatsoever.
Right,
So
right.
my message to the Hickman football program is, hey, you're really good, right? You're really good, and you know you're really good. Now go prove you're really good to everybody else. Everybody else. Go prove it, right? Because you can beat up on Smith Cotton. You can beat up on some not so great teams. You beat Cap City at home, which I think is their best win, but go prove it. Go prove it against Rockbridge because that game's going to tell us a lot of how good both teams are.
Awesome. Cool. Well, that's exciting. Look forward to hear more about it. I know it's been cool seeing you get in on Twitter and TikTok, and I know it's cool seeing the high school student get excited about it and get some coverage from that side on that well high school level sports. So yeah, we'll see who takes the crown and see who's the king. It's cool always seeing like rivalries and just seeing teams rise up and just create really good games. I know, like in high school in general, generally speaking, the games tend to be uneven. But then when schools kind of start getting up to the same level, you get to see big games like Hickman against Rockbridge, and it's cool. Brings the school spirit out for the students, but also it brings a crowd of people in and go watch it. And I know if I was a football player for any of those teams and I see a full stadium, I must feel good
Yeah.
too. So
Yeah. I mean, Hickman versus Rockbridge at Hickman High School in week 8 is going to be the place to be Friday night. Like, everybody and their mother is going to be there. It's two pretty good football teams that obviously it's a huge rivalry. I mean, it's been a rivalry since literally the dawn of time, basically. So we'll see. But I like Hickman in that game in week 8. That's kind of an early preview that I'm doing a little bit. But I like Hickman to win that game, but I could see Rockbridge winning too. So, yeah.
awesome.
But yeah, well, any other thing you want to talk about? Anything that's on your mind or
No, just I'm excited about the Missouri Alabama game. I know we've been doing some coverage for the home game, so I'm excited to be a part of it. Get some good pictures and see how that game turns out.
it's going to be a fun weekend for sure. Fun weekend. Big game. SEC Nation, Marty and McGee in town, Josh Pate. I want to meet Josh Pate. I'm going to get a picture with Josh Pate definitely on Saturday. I love Josh Pate. A lot of Missouri fans don't like Josh Pate, and I understand why, but he's very good at his job, and I like him. So,
Well,
yeah.
as long as yeah, well, and maybe we get Drink to reserve a time in the gym for us as well. I saw on Twitter, Drink is really good about joking around, and I saw he mentioned something about reserving some time for TiVo in the gym. I don't know how if that was a joke or that was serious.
No,
I'm
it's
sure they
serious.
actually did it.
Yeah. They did it. They did it in week 2. Tim Tebow got to work out in the gym, and then Josh Pate actually just got his as well. So they're going to be working out hard in the Missouri gym using those $100 million facilities. So that's cool for those guys. I'm not jealous at all. I don't cry about it at all. Please, Eli Drinkwitz, give me private access to the gym. Anyways, fun little podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys Saturday. If you see me or Fernando and you've seen our stuff, feel free to say hi, by the way. We love to talk to people.
Absolutely.
So if you say hi to us, we will definitely talk to you and not just say hi back. We will talk to you for an extended amount of time. So yeah, just a fun little podcast, fun little weekend ahead. But yeah, I think that's about it. So we will see you guys Saturday. Thank you for tuning into the podcast. Hopefully we can record next week on Wednesday or Thursday and preview the Auburn game and the Hickman and Rockbridge game. So have a good night, guys. Have a blessed day.
All right. Bye.